Hey there, guys. It's Farhad here for another installment of the Alpha Interviews, where we get involved and talk to some serious guys out there about the concept of having it all in body, being, mind, spirit, business, relationships, and every area that you can think of that matters the most. Today, I am really excited to have with me the man, the myth, Matt Smith. Matt, how are you?
I'm fantastic today, Fahad. Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm awesome. And I am really excited because this morning I woke up and I checked my Facebook, and the first thing I saw was a message from you telling the world how fired up you are, that you're going to share some epic content today. And I'm just looking forward to it, and I think that anybody who has the privilege of watching this, whether live or in replay format, is in for a treat. So, without further ado, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to the world. Who is Matt Smith?
Okay, well, first message I've got to put across. If anybody wants to switch off very quickly, if they get bored of me talking, that's the first message today, okay? That's a little chalkboard. I was given it as a Christmas present a couple of years ago, and I have that now in my bathroom. It says Carpe Diem. Nobody knows what that means. That means seize the day. I have that in my bathroom, so every morning when I brush my teeth, first thing I see is seize the day, okay? It's only recently that I've done that, though. And the reason being is because of some stuff that kind of happened in the past that we'll probably go over a little bit today. But basically, back to the question, sorry. Who is Matt Smith? Well, Matt Smith's a father. He's a business owner. He's a fitness junkie. He's a bit of a preacher and a control freak. And he just loves helping people and loves seeing people progress and enjoy life and get the best out of themselves and also other people. So that's basically who I am.
So you just touched on it, like things weren't going well for you there. Do you want to give us a little bit of background as to where you're coming from and where you are now?
Okay, so not so long ago, probably 2 years ago, had a very successful fitness business. Okay, I had lots of different branches to this massive tree that I was growing. So I had in-person personal training, I had semi-private, I was doing boot camps, I had staff working for me, running boot camps for me. I had a guys program that, again, I had staff running for me. I had online programs for guys, for girls, for both. And I was kind of living the dream, I suppose. But then I got caught up in this chase the money thing. And I don't want to get people confused with money being a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But what happened was I went from my passion of serving people to going, right, let's just see how much money I can make with this thing. And that became my main driver. And I forgot about things like my relationships. Now, I'm not just talking about my relationship with Connie and my kids. I'm talking about my relationships with the clients that I actually had at the time. Friends as well. I forgot about that. And I forgot about my own personal health. I'll go to the gym on Monday. I'll start again on Monday because I've got some stuff to do with the business right now, and I need to create all these different systems and funnels and messages and everything, and it's going to make me this much money. And we moved out of our 2-bed house. It was a lovely little 2-bed house. It was out in the country. It was gorgeous. And we moved into a ridiculously big 4-bed thing with 3 bathrooms and 4 or 5 toilets in a beautiful area. It's a fantastic house. And I thought that would see me happy. If I had a big house, a nice car, I thought, yeah, perfect. That's what life's all about, the big house, the nice car, because everyone who has big houses and nice cars are really happy. But that was actually the worst time of my life. And Christmas 2014, Christmas just gone, I was in a dark place, a point where actually one day Connie turned around and said to me, I can't do this anymore. And we'd been together for like 8-9 years, and that was when reality hit, because I'd stretched myself so far and I'd severed so many connections and ties and relationships with people around me, including a lot of clients, that the money kind of started to dry up. People started to leave my life. And I thought, oh, it must be them. It's not me. It must be them, because everything I'm doing is right and everyone else is wrong. And that that was like the worst time of my life. Sorry, man. In fact, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. It's good to show this emotion, because it wasn't until I became completely honest with myself and what I'd done to myself that things started to change. And I remember the day I checked my bank balance, and the old cliche, insufficient funds available. And when you're trying to support a family, you don't really want to be seeing that. And that was around January time this year. And I was actually at my mum's house, and I knew every month I got a lot of money going out, a lot of money for the business, again for the house, the car and stuff. And I thought, I can't do this anymore. And I went upstairs onto my sister's bedroom floor. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I broke down in tears, but I was literally screaming. It wasn't just a little tiny bit of emotion like you see it now. I was physically screaming in emotional pain that I'd let everybody down. And I think the reason why I was so emotionally hurt from it is because that wasn't me. The person that I'd become, it wasn't me. This person who was just chasing the money and forgetting about everybody else, that wasn't me. The real Matt Smith deep down is a person who puts other people first and cares about other people. But because I forgot to take care of myself, if that makes sense, in terms of my emotional well-being and my fitness, everything else kind of suffered. And that was the worst and best day of my life, because since then everything's changed 180 degrees. But I had to have that experience. I had to have that moment. I couldn't hide from it. I couldn't lie. I had to be completely honest with that situation. And I'm grateful for that situation. I'm grateful for the experiences that I had, because without those experiences, I may have experienced them later on in life, or I might have people come to me with those experiences and I wouldn't know how to deal with it. Now when people come to me with their pains, I know how to deal with it. I know that whatever they're going through, it's again the old saying, I think Churchill said it, if you're going through hell, keep going. But what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to keep going through hell. I wanted to stop and get out as fast as I could. And that started with me actually being selfish. So what I mean by that is, people might get confused out there saying, well, hang on a minute, you were being selfish thinking about money. Yes, in a way I was, but I forgot to actually serve myself first. Money isn't serving yourself. Money is just this external ticket that gives you other stuff, experiences and whatever. But I forgot to serve myself. I forgot to be the best version of myself, which is what people need to realize. You've got to be the best version of yourself before you can help anybody else. And I don't want to go off on a preach about what other people should do, because I know you've asked the question about where I was, but that's basically where I was. Christmas, if you look at any pictures and videos of me around Christmas time, there was fake emotion. You know, when you see some people put the smiles on and you can just tell like there's no emotion behind there apart from pain, that's exactly what it was. But I'm glad to say now that person's completely gone, and we're on the way back up to the top, and I'm bringing everyone who wants to come on for the ride with me.
So what caused the shift? What would you say was the one thing that really caused the shift back to power?
The realization that nobody else was going to save me. People could help me. So once I decided what I wanted and where I wanted to go, there were people out there who could help me. There was information out there that could help me. There were books that could help me, but no one was going to come and save me. And okay, my childhood hero was Superman. Okay, I loved Superman because he was invincible. He could do pretty much everything. Like with your other superheroes, like there were restrictions. Like Batman, he couldn't really fly. Superman kind of had everything, and he was my hero. And what he would do is he would save people. So if someone was in the burning building, he would fly in, save them, and take them away. But what I realized and where the shift came was I had to be my own superhero. I had to save myself. There's no point in looking externally for mentors and coaches. Now, I know yourself and myself are both mentors and coaches, but there's no point in people coming to us until they're actually ready, willing to do the work that we want to help them with, if that makes sense. So the shift came was, I don't want to be in this pain anymore. What have I got to do to get out of this pain? Am I willing to do what I've got to do to get out of this pain? Yes, I'm willing to do what it takes to get out of the pain. Now, what's the path that I need to go on? Who can help me get there? And how do I do it? And that was what's caused the shift. I didn't want to be where I was.
Absolutely, and that's pretty good advice for you on superhero. But what advice would you give to someone? So, for example, like I went through this, and a lot of people out there that I speak to on a daily basis and I interact with, they go through very similar emotions. They want this life, but they're not sure how to get it. They're in a lot of pain because they feel like they're letting people down. Like, I mean, I get it. I totally understand it, because at one point, my depression came from the fact that I had a family, a young family. I had a wife, I had a child, I had a mortgage, had all of these things, and I wasn't feeling like I was providing for them. And as a result, my manliness, if you like, took a hit, and that caused me to really question my own ability. My own confidence was shattered. My own self-esteem was shattered. And I know that there are so many other guys probably watching this right now thinking the same thing. What piece of advice or advices would you give to these individuals?
It's a very, very, very good question. What I'd say is be careful of the words that you use when you talk to yourself, because they do hold immense power. So things like "I'm not good enough," "I can't do this," "I'm not worthy," etc., etc. They're all stories and they're all beliefs. Okay, not backed up by much fact. Okay, you might have experiences where you failed at stuff, but hey, everyone fails. What did I see today? Walt Disney was bankrupt at 23 or something like that. But he probably didn't sit and say to himself, "This is never going to happen for me." He had a dream and he pursued it, and he was using language that helped him achieve his dream. And look at the size of Disney now. So you've got to be your own biggest fan. You've got to choose your words carefully, the way you talk to yourself. But another thing that I would say is be careful of your environment, because it was Napoleon Hill, I think, who coined the phrase, "You're an average of the 5 people you hang around with most." Now, as much as I believe that to be completely true, there are parts of it I kind of struggle with. So some people say to me, "Oh, that means I've got to cut out all my friends and all my family because they're not where I want to be." No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that you've got to get around people who are going to take you to where you want to be. You don't necessarily have to cut out close friends and family. You may need to see them less or spend a bit less energy with them. But I would definitely say change your environment. And where my body went to the worst that it's ever been was, again, around the Christmas, January time. I had this realization that I worked in a gym, okay? It was a leisure center. I've been there for 5 or 6 years. I was the head trainer there for 5 or 6 years. And although it was a great place, great staff, it wasn't what can be termed as a training facility. It's a leisure center, okay? And that just means there was a lot of people there who are happy to go in, do their bit, keep fit, keep moving, which is absolutely fantastic. It's what keeps them happy, and that's brilliant. I'm not putting anybody down by this, but I started to become this average person. In fact, I was worse than average because I wasn't really training my body. But no one really there inspired me. Now, if there's people that go to that leisure centre who are watching this, they might be a bit insulted, but I'm sorry. I'm inspired by the fact that you go to the gym, and that's fantastic, but there weren't many people there who were where I wanted to be. And there's another saying that goes something like, if you're the smartest in the room, it's time to get out the room. And I'm not saying I was the smartest in that gym by any stretch of the imagination or in the best shape. But what I had to do was I had to change my environment. And since I moved to a training facility, which is a gym down the road, but it's more, like I say, it's a training facility. Pretty much everyone there is in better shape than I am in some way. And everybody in there inspires me to do more, to be more. Okay, so if people are struggling right now and they're struggling to get out of their pain, I'd say be aware of your environment, beware of the words that you're using when you talk to yourself. Use more powerful words, or affirmations or affirmations, and get around the people who basically can help you get to where you want to get to, or are on the same mission as you.
You used a really good phrase this morning. It was the proximity is power.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, so proximity is power. That basically is about the environment you're in. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. For example, if you Okay, let's just say you and I went on an experiment, okay? And after this call, you went and spent 12 months with millionaires, okay? Self-made millionaires. They had nothing when they came into the world, so nobody gave them anything, and they've made their fortunes either through business, okay? But they're all in very, very good shape. They're really, really healthy, and they have fantastic relationships as well, okay? Let's say you went and spent a year with those people, and then after this call, I went and spent a year with 5 homeless people, okay? 5 homeless people that destroyed their relationships. They're all divorced or single or whatever you want to call it. They haven't really achieved anything in life. They've got no ambition whatsoever. They're all really unhealthy, okay? So you've got your group of people for a year. I've got my group of people. Who at the end of the year, if we came back and did another call like this, who do you think would be in better shape financially, physically, emotionally, and with their relationships? I can guarantee it, 9 times out of 10, you would be in a lot better shape in all of those areas than I would be, purely because of the people that you hung around with, not because of your beliefs, not because of your energy or your values. That plays a bit of a part, but the people you hang around with would take you to that level, and the people that I hang around with would bring me down 9 times out of 10. Okay, there are exceptions, but that's what I mean by proximity is power.
Right. So tell me a little bit about where you're at now and where you're going to, because I really like to sort of get the inspiration side of things and really sort of feel where people are heading to and just draw power from that, because you've obviously got that story behind you and you had some success before, but you're really launching something at the minute I saw, and you're really on an upward curve at the minute. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to and what it is you're launching. Sounds really interesting.
It is, and I'm really, really excited. And I tell you what, it's different to where I was before. Okay, where I was before with all the different, like I said, branches to this tree, helping all these different type of people. The reason I was there is because I looked at and saw what other people were doing. I thought, yeah, let's just go and do that. What other people are doing, that'd be great. And I think that's where the collapse came, was because I wasn't really living my passion, living my purpose, and spreading my message in the right way. I love helping people, really, really do. But I think it was just kind of the energy was directed in the wrong area. So now where I'm at, what I've done is I've had to do a little bit of soul searching. I've had to sit down quietly and think, who is Matt Smith? What does he actually want? What can he bring to the table, and who does he ultimately want to work with, and who can he serve the best? And that's kind of a bit of an indication as to where I'm going. And I've still got some really fantastic personal training clients that are completely diverse, different types of people, some women, some men, some young, some old. And I'm in love with every client that I have, because they're all absolutely fantastic. They push themselves every day, and they're just brilliant to be around. It's almost like training with your friends, basically. I still do the semi-private, and I have still got some online, but the best bit about those is they're all people that I've kind of handpicked and said, yes, I want to work with you, yes, I want to help you. Not in an arrogant way, like I want to turn away people, but I know that I can serve these people best because of the connection that we have. So the way we're going forwards right now is basically I'm just looking to help me 6 months ago. So who I was 6 months ago, I really, really, really want to help those people. And I've got a program coming out 1st of August called the Ultimate Male Program. Okay. And now, again, some people say that's a bit arrogant, ultimate male and whatever. But for me, it's not about the destination and the definition, ultimate male. It's the journey that the ultimate male goes on. Okay, so some people might see Jay-Z as the ultimate male, okay, worth something like 600 million, amazing relationships, doing what he loves, spreads his message every day. But he doesn't go, that's it, I'm stopped, I'm the ultimate male, that's it now. He's the ultimate male because he pushes every single day. He's like, right, what's next? What's next? What's next? How can I give back to the charity, the community, the charity, the world? How can I improve people's lives tomorrow? How can I improve my life tomorrow? Okay, some people might think, oh, Bill Gates is the ultimate male. Look how much money he's worth. But again, it's not because of the destination that he's reached. It's because of the journey that he's on. Every day he's striving to be better. So this is where I'm heading right now. I'm looking specifically for, at the moment, and this might change in the near future when I want to expand it a bit, but at the moment, I'm just looking for guys who are determined and committed to be better every single day, not to end up as the ultimate male and stand on some pedestal and go, look at me, I'm better than everybody. It's not that. The ultimate male isn't about that. The ultimate male is about being the best version you can be so that you can serve the people in your life nearest to you, but also furthest away that might benefit from you as well. For example, yourself and myself as coaches to, I want to say world leaders one day, who knows, but to entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches and trainers as well. If we can make their lives better and help them grow and prosper, think how many other lives are impacted by the message that we share with them. So that's where I'm going right now. I'm really excited about the future. That's business, by the way. In terms of body, I am going to be releasing some pictures soon of where I was January, February time in the worst shape of my life. And I am going to be revealing pictures of where I am now. I've made a massive transformation. Again, it's not to be egotistical or big-headed. It's to say this is what's possible from a very, very dark place when you're looking at yourself and going, I don't even know who you are anymore when you look in the mirror, to someone who is in love with himself. And I'll say that with completely unapologetically. I do love myself more than anything in the world, because if I don't, hey, everyone else loses out. So I've got to love myself first. And we've had a conversation with that before in other podcasts and things. But in terms of my relationship, it's on fire. Like, me and Connie are better than ever. Time with my kids is phenomenal. And that's another thing. I've decided now that work doesn't get priority over everything. It really doesn't. There's a balance. I give myself 100%. I give my family 100%. I give my clients, my business 100% when I'm with them. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It's about being present in the moment. So
100%.
You mentioned the body there, and I wanted to just discuss this with you because we've spoken about this in the past, and in previous interviews with other alpha males, I've spoken about the body with them. You mentioned that when things started to go a little bit on a downward spiral for you, you saw a change in your physicality, your body. It just decided that you weren't going to invest enough time in it for whatever reason, and it suffered as a result, right? What is the correlation, as you say, between the body and all the other areas of your life? Because as fitness pros, you and I, we both understand and appreciate the whole concept that your body is linked to everything. But how would you explain it to just the general person watching this, that the correlation between the two, between the body and all the other areas in your life, and the importance of that?
I can only speak from experience. Unless you've experienced it, it's very hard to believe this, because I thought when I was out of shape and I wasn't spending time in the gym, or what I thought was actually, the words I was using was wasting time in the gym. Someone asked me, oh, are you still training? This is around Christmas time. I was like, no, I don't waste my time in there anymore. I focus more on the business. So I actually said it was wasting time. There was a direct correlation. When I've been out of shape in terms of the gym, I've been out of shape in every other area. Like I said, Connie almost left me. There was a point when I was actually thinking, like the word bankruptcy entered my head around January, February time, because there was a lot more going out than there was coming in, and I didn't see a way out of the hole. But then, since I started prioritizing myself and my health and my fitness, and started, like every day I start with the gym. Either the gym or a power walk. That's the first thing. Well, studying meditation first, and then I'll do either a power walk or do a gym session. That's the way I start every single day now. And for me, there's been a direct correlation. The business it's on its way up again. I think because I've got the energy for it, and because I'm coming from a place of integrity, being a fitness business owner, I think it's very hard to tell people what they should be doing in terms of exercise and nutrition if you're not doing it yourself. But when you're actually doing it yourself, when you're actually living the message that you're giving out, people respond to that a lot better. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
For me, there's been a direct correlation.
Brilliant. So we had an interesting conversation about a week ago. We were talking about fear, we were talking about doing the work, and we were talking about becoming a key person of influence. The reason I bring all this up is, one of the things I like to ask people is just recommendations of books, of audios, or anything that you think that can inspire people. Let us know about this book you're reading. I've seen a big change in you just from reading this book.
Was that the key person of influence?
That's the one, yeah.
It's a brilliant book, and again, without experiencing it, it's very hard to believe the power of this book. It's like the book The Secret that came out probably about 10 years ago now. If you've not really read it, it's hard to understand the power of it. But like I said before, the Key Person of Influence book, it's the first book that I've actually reached out to the author and thanked him for creating it. And he actually sent me a message back and said, "You're welcome," which was pretty cool. And it's also the only book that I've ever kind of taken notes on or done the work in it with physical pen and paper. There's other books I've done the work in my mind, but this is the book that I've actually took the time to make notes. And the reason this book is so powerful is because it's helped me gain complete clarity. Like, Ultimate Male was always something that I kind of had in the back of my head, but all the questions came up, like, will it work? Should I be doing this? Will I be living with integrity if I do? And all those types of questions. And again, all these stories and beliefs that weren't really serving me. So it just kind of confirmed that what I wanted to do is what I should be doing. So to anybody out there who is a business owner or a coach or a trainer or an entrepreneur, I would say go and get that book. And even if you work for somebody else and you're not really happy and you're sat there thinking there's got to be more to life than this, or if you're a parent and you don't want to tell your kids go and get a 9-to-5 office job and they don't really know what to do, get them this book and go through it with them, because honestly it'll help you find your passion, your purpose, and it'll also give you the map of how to make a living from it and have a fantastic life from it. So when Ultimate Male blows up, which I know it will 100%, in terms of going really good, not blowing up and being destroyed, I'm really gonna thank the author for it. It's a brilliant book. Honestly, I've read a lot of books. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and been to seminars and watched the webinars, but this is the thing that's helped me the most, just because it's confirmed what I kind of thought to be true, but I now know it is, and like I say, it's given me the path to become that key person of influence.
So speaking of key persons of influence, what people have inspired you?
Anybody who's successful. Anybody, and that's a completely sweeping statement, I know, but anybody who is successful, okay, let me go even deeper, but doing what they really want to do. Okay, so somebody might sit there and say, well, I'm a successful banker, I hate my job, but I'm successful. That person doesn't inspire me because they hate their job. Somebody said, and I can't remember who it was, but our lives are made up of days. And if you spend your days doing stuff you don't enjoy, then you're wasting your life. And I can't remember who said it. So if anybody knows who said that, please let me know who said it. But our lives are made up of days. And if you're spending days doing something you don't enjoy, you're wasting your life. So the people that inspire me, people like Will Smith, for example, okay? He is living his passion. He's living his purpose. And he's sharing a message that anybody can do anything, okay? And I totally believe in that as well. Richard Branson, okay? He basically gets up and does whatever he wants to do every single day, and he's very successful at it. Okay, he's failed a lot of times. He's been in debt a lot as well. If you look at his history, the Virgin Group has been in debt a lot. But every single day he goes, I'm just going to break the mold. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to do it with complete honesty and integrity and to the best of my ability. I've read the countless autobiographies of successful people, people that overcome tremendous misfortune as well, or setbacks and things. So you look at people like Eminem as well. Again, not everyone's cup of tea, but someone who's inspired me. Like, he was the first really well-known and very successful white rapper. He completely broke the mold with that. He was like, this is me, this is who I am. If nobody likes me, then that's their problem. He probably said it in a more explicit way than that, but people like that inspire me. People that get up every day, do what they want to do, and do it to the best of their ability, regardless of whether other people can say that they should be doing it, or they shouldn't be doing it, or they won't succeed at it. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, in one of his quotes, he said, I love it when people tell me that I can't do something, because when I do it, it means I'm the first to do it. Now, those people inspire me.
Oh, I want to put you on the spot here. Let's get a bit specific. You've got two people now, one dead, one alive. Who would you like to have lunch with? Pick their brain.
Who would I like to have lunch with and pick their brain?
One dead, one alive.
Oh my goodness, that's a question. Okay, Nelson Mandela.
Okay.
Purely because of what he went through to to forgive, like the people that did everything to him and his race, is, I think, phenomenal. So yeah, definitely Nelson Mandela. The other one's got to be alive, right? I was going to say Walt Disney then, but that's a shame. Okay, and probably. Okay, my gut says Richard Branson. Yeah, just because I think I've like idolized that guy. He's a love or hate character. He's like Justin Bieber. People either love him or hate him, but I think for what he's achieved, brilliant. So I'd like to sit down and have lunch with him as well.
Awesome. What is Matt Smith's big goal? What's on your bucket list, man?
I've got a lot of things on the bucket list. Like, they're two different things. Goals and bucket lists, I think, are two different things. Like, bucket lists are things that I want to personally achieve, like stupid things like climb Everest, swim the Channel, Machu Picchu. They're all on like bucket lists. But my main goal, like, I have a trouble with this, and I'll tell you why I don't really set main goals, because I think that might distract me from other opportunities. So if I say, let's say my goal used to be to own my own gym. That's all I wanted to do. I always wanted to own my own gym. Now, looking back, I think that was an ego thing to say, yeah, look at Matt Smith, he's got a gym. But it distracted away from other opportunities like online programs and traveling the world and things like that. So I think the goal is to just help as many people as I come into contact with. If I can help as many people who I come into contact with, then I'm a happy guy.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to just talk about clarity, because you mentioned clarity a moment ago. What is it? Okay, so you said that this book has given you a lot of clarity, and I think when I talk to people, and I had a conversation yesterday with a chap who's really sort of focusing on a business idea he has, and he wants to take it to the next level. And I asked him a question, and I asked everybody I come into contact with the same question now, and it is, what is it you want? What do you want? And very few people, when I ask them, they're kind of like stunned. They're like, well, I kind of know what I want, but I don't. It's clarity that they're lacking. And I think one of the things that stops most people moving forward, and it certainly stopped me from moving forward for the longest time, was a lack of clarity. And I always used to think, oh, I need clarity to move forward, I need clarity to move forward. Tell us about your definition and your concept of how to gain clarity and what it means to personal power.
Okay, again, fantastic question. Really put me on the spot, and I hate that you didn't email me these questions beforehand.
I knew you'd say that.
It is what it is, so it's cool. Okay, my definition of clarity is to basically know where you're going. That's my definition of clarity. Clarity is driving in the car with the lights on if it's dark, but also having a map of how to get there, or even having a fancy sat nav that just tells you the way, so you could drive there without even looking at the road. Okay, so that's my definition of clarity. Knowing what it, like you just said there, knowing what it is that you want, and I think people are scared to admit, but they want a few things. They want to grow continuously. That's what people want, really. They want to know every day they're growing or improving. And I think a lot of people want appreciation or approval from others. Okay, there's a book at the moment that I'm kind of dipping in and out of, called The Way of the Superior Man. And there's a question in there that basically says, if your dad wasn't alive, what's one thing that you would go and do straight away? Or if you didn't need approval from your father, what's the one thing that you would go and do straight away? And I kind of thought, what the hell is the author on about with this question? But then I thought, well, that's it. Maybe as a guy, all I'm trying to do is seek approval from my dad to go, Dad, yeah, look at me. And I know that to be true, because when I first got my first nice car, which was the Audi, the S5, the first thing I did was drove around to my dad's house and say, Dad, look at me. So I think somewhere deep down in the subconscious, we want that approval from the father, maybe. So what's helped me, if you want to know what's helped me with that?
Yeah, go for it.
Is to not care what other people think. is to go, right, what do I actually want? Who do I want to surround myself with? What's going to make me the happiest person in the world if I did this thing every single day? And how do I go and do it? And that's basically it. I think with clarity, it does take a bit of time. And yes, you can work with a coach because they can ask the questions, maybe the right questions, because that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. To gain clarity is to ask the right questions, but also to be honest with yourself. Clarity is knowing where you're going and having the map to get there.
It's when you say being honest with yourself, that is such a strong statement that we take it for granted to just tell the truth, and most of all to ourselves, not so much to the people around us, but to ourselves. Because once you tell the truth to yourself and you realize why you're where you're at, I think that's when you can start to get really honest and start building that clearer picture.
Yeah, that's again going back to my shift. Is I was hiding behind the house in the car that I had and posting it out to the world, saying, "Yeah, look how great my life is." But on the inside, man, I was in pain. It was horrible. But I was lying to myself, saying, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Don't check the bank balance. Don't check the books of what's coming in and what's going out. Don't be aware of how many sales you've made that month, or how many people you've brought on board, or how many people you've kept. Don't go into that. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. This word, everything's okay." And we kind of answer people as well when they say, "Oh, how are you doing?" You go, "Yeah, okay," or "All right," or "Not bad." That's not the truth. Like, next time somebody asks, when you say to someone, "How are you?" and they say "Not bad" or "All right," sit down and ask them, "Come on, how are you really, honestly, with every area of your life? How are you?" I dare to have that conversation with people, not just you, Fahad, but anybody who's watching this, because yeah, we lie to ourselves. The hardest thing is to tell the truth, but I tell you what, again, another cliche, another statement, another quote: the truth will set you free.
I love it. I love it. So if you could summarize in one piece of advice what you spoke of today, I mean, I have an idea of what it is, but I'll put words in your mouth. What would that be? Would it be along the lines of tell the truth, or what would you say would be that one piece of advice you give?
That's the piece of advice right there. Seize the day.
I love it.
Seize the day, okay? Get up every day with passion, with purpose. Get clear on who you are, where you want to go, and just seize the day. Get up every single day and just seize that day, because you can't get it back. Time's the most valuable asset on the planet. Money, you can get it back. Relationships, you can get back. Anything material, you can get back. Time, you will not ever get back. So please, if you're sat there thinking, "Oh, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I want to do," get around people who can ask you the right questions for a start, to find out who you are and where you want to go and what you want to do. But seize the day. Exercise your body, exercise your mind. Sorry, you said one statement. Seize the day. Seize the day.
Brilliant, brilliant, love it. So how can people contact you? Because we're coming towards the end of this interview now, and I'd like people to reach out to you, because I think you can offer a lot of value to a lot of people, especially guys out there. And I know that, like myself, you're always open to answering questions and just getting in, offering value to people and getting in touch with people. How can, say, somebody watching this or listening to this get in touch with Matt Smith?
Okay, the easiest way, don't Google me, because there's 1,000,000,001 Matt Smiths out there. It'll take forever to find me. I'm not quite on the first page yet. Facebook.com/Matt Smith 2310. Facebook.com/Matt Smith 2310. That's the quickest and easiest way to find me. So if you head over there, drop me a message, say hi, introduce yourself. I'll happily chat and go into more depth about my experience, and any way I can help you, then we both win. Okay, so Facebook.com/Matt Smith 2310.
Awesome. And if anybody wants to contact me, you can do so on www.farhadmania.com, teamfightingfit.com. My new project I'm just launching, the warriorunleashed.com, or of course on Facebook, just search Farhad Mania. Unlike Matt, I'm not too hard to find. There are only about 4 or 5 of us on Facebook, Farhad Mania as that is, and I'm probably the main one on there, because I've pretty much dominated that field, if I do say so myself. So on that note, we'd like to wish you all a great day. Matt, you want to finish off by saying goodbye, and anything else you want to say before we shut this off for the day?
No, just thank you very, very much for the opportunity to share my message. I hope it's helped people. I hope it's inspired people. Because whatever you're going through, just keep going. Okay, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Just get real with where you are. Get around people who can take you to where you want to get to. And seize the day. That's what it is.
Epic stuff, man. And just on that final note, before I forget to mention this, if anybody watching this has any questions for us, please just leave some comments below in the comments box. We'll endeavor to answer the questions you have for either myself or for Matt. If you are or know somebody that wants to be interviewed by me for the Alpha interviews, get in touch as well. I was looking for inspirational alpha men and alpha women out there who want to be interviewed, mostly men, if I'm being honest with you, but some of these women out there, you guys do have an inspirational story that can kick us up all in the arse as well. So if you are out there and you want to get involved, just leave a comment below, get in touch with me. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Take care. Sweat more, sweat less, and stay awesome.